Monsters University, the prequel to Monsters Inc.
It is? It's a prequel?
Yeah, you didn't know that?
I thought it was like a sequel, and then they went back in time, and that's why they're so young.
So the movie takes place, when Mike and Sully are in college.
About 10 years before the events of Monsters, Inc.
Right. So Mike really wants to be a scarer. That's his dream. So he goes to Monsters University and tries to get into the program of scaring.
But the competition is very tough when Sully, voiced by John Goodman, and you forgot to say Mike was also voiced by
Billy Crystal, of
Billy
course.
Crystal, of course. Sully comes in, acts like a whole big shot, and acts like he's a lot better than Mike just because his father is
he has a whole
top
generation, past generations of scares, so he thinks he'll just, because of that, he'll be right into the scaring program. But it's not that simple, as there's a conflict that happens. I'm not gonna ruin anything for you guys if you haven't seen it, but yeah. Ryan, what do you think of this movie?
You want my honest opinion?
Yeah.
I thought it was a very, very solid movie. It wasn't spectacular like most Pixar movies. Like, if I had to put it like in a list of my Pixar movies, I would put it like in the bottom 5.
So what do you compare it to Monsters Inc?
I'd say that Monsters Inc. is by far the better movie, but this is the best they could have done with a prequel, and I'm really satisfied. How about you?
I'm gonna agree with that. I say that Monsters University was definitely better than Brave. Better than Cars 2 by a lot.
It was a lot better than Brave.
Sorry, my turn. So it was better than those two. It was, I think, right now at where it is, I was very pleased. It was the best I could have done with a prequel. There were some flaws, and we'll talk about that in a second. But I say it's overall good movie. If you like the first one, you won't be disappointed. That's what I'm gonna say.
I second that opinion.
We already discussed that.
Oh yeah, I first that opinion. So John Goodman, Billy Crystal both make a tremendous return, and I gotta say, they nailed it out. They knocked it right out of the park. It seemed like they haven't aged a day. They had the same voices, they had the same emotion.
Same with Steve Buscemi.
Steve Buscemi, gotta love Randall. By the way, Randall, he was actually one of my favorite characters in this movie.
That was great. I liked it.
The way he gets introduced in the movie, it is something that it leaves some mark on you for the whole movie. It's just something that really surprises you and just really funny.
So we talked about how much you liked it. Now there are some flaws though we gotta talk about. The first one is a clip from Monsters Inc. So Mike says to Sully, "You've been jealous of me since the 3rd grade, right?"
3rd grade.
Yeah. You've been
Not
jealous.
4th.
Yeah. You've been jealous of me since the 3rd grade, but how would they know each other in the 3rd grade if they met in college in this movie? That's just a flaw. Pixar actually talked about it and they said it's a monster term they use since the 3rd grade. I think it was the 4th grade. It was 4th grade. It was 4th.
It was 3rd.
It was 4th.
It was 3rd.
We're gonna look it up. 1 sec. So we looked it up. It's 4th grade, guys.
I could have sworn it's 3rd.
It was 4th. But anyway, that's besides the point. Pixar, I guess they did talk about it and they said it's a 4th grade. It's a monster term to say 4th grade since the 4th grade, but it's not. That they just kind of had to deal without it.
Unlike him, I wasn't really that upset with that, just because, you know, if they had let me talk. If they had a good plot to it, one tiny little plot hole that you have to go back to the movie and listen to 2 seconds of it. I mean, I totally understand why you'd be upset. Like, it seems like they could have gone away to go around that to make it work.
There's a simple way to do it. They should have had him in his 4th grade class showing at the beginning, and they should have had like some rivalry or something. Then when he goes to college, they end up going to the same one.
Yeah, that's something that Pixar could have done, but I'd say it didn't take away anything from the movie for me. So I'd say it was a flaw, but wasn't that big of a flaw. Something else about this movie is that if you're expecting it to be like other Pixar movies where it's made for both adults and kids, there were a lot of stuff that adults could enjoy, but this was more of a kid-oriented movie. So you may be disappointed by that. I wasn't, because I knew what I was getting into. I saw the reviews. I saw that a lot of people said that it was kid-oriented and there's gonna be a lot of kiddie jokes, and I actually laughed at a lot of them. There were a lot of funny jokes.
It was actually pretty. I laughed. That's the funny part. It's like, there's some. It was kid-oriented, but I agree there were some funny parts. And the last flaw we're gonna talk about is there's this. I'm not gonna say who, but there's a character from the first one that comes back, and it just, when you see him, it doesn't make sense at all. Like, you know what I'm talking about, right?
Yeah, the monsters are working someplace, and then he shows up. That's all I'm gonna say. It's like towards the end of the movie.
Come back, go watch it, come back, and you can discuss it in the comments.
It didn't really make, like, I'm glad they had him in it, but it didn't really make much sense to why they put him in.
They could have had something else.
Yeah, that was something that really upset me in the movie. But you know what? As long as he came back, I'm happy. You know?
Yeah, and it's more. I guess kids, they don't really care, and they want to do it towards kids. I know they want to have the people who watch Monsters Inc., the kids, that they're grown up, but I think they could have done better with that, but it's it's what it is, you know.
So now we're gonna rate this movie out of 10. That's gonna be our system for now. It may change in the future, but for now we're doing out of 10 scale.
So
Steven,
what's my grade? Okay,
you first.
I would give it I'll give it an 8.5 out of 10. I would say it. Monsters Inc. I would give it 10 out of 10. But since this one, I enjoyed this. I'll give it 8.5. What about you?
I can see that. I think I'm gonna give it an 8, which is a really, really solid score. It was a great movie, a great time. Pixar is definitely coming back up from the drop of Brave and Cars 2.
Yeah.
But it didn't have as much Pixar-ness as I would have liked.
It was more, I would say it was a little bit higher than what a Disney movie would be, but since the characters came back, I just had to enjoy that.
Yeah, 8 out of 10, and that's a really solid grade, really good grade, so 8 out of 10, don't be upset for that, that's really good.
I'm excited for Pixar's next movie. I think they're going back up
the next one's gonna be an original called The Good Dinosaur, so I'm really excited about that.
So yeah, I think that's about it for now. Thank you for watching, and...
Wait, one more person. Now we're gonna have our friend Chris give a 10-second review.
Hi guys, I'm Chris, I'm a twin also, and I had a review on Monsters University. I really enjoyed it, I thought it was really good. I liked it like Monsters Inc. and I'd probably give it a 9 out of 10.
Well, that's about it for TwinReviewers. I hope you enjoyed and get ready for our next review. See you later guys. Have a great day.